Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from AnthonysCustoms, and for this review we are looking at the DC Multiverse Batman v Superman Prison Lex Luthor figure. Not a figure I wanted to own, really, it didn't appeal to me in any way, but it came with the mutant leader and I wanted to get that a little bit, and I needed the Build-A-Figure part anyway, so I got it. So I'm reviewing it, and I figure some of you might be interested in getting it anyway, even if it's not the most appealing figure, so it might be helpful to have a review. So that's what we're going to do. So let's get it off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 6.5 inches, which makes it just under, well, just about 16.5 centimeters. My first thought about this figure was that it looked atrocious and I didn't want it at all. And part of that, it's actually the case. It's pretty terrible in some ways, but in other ways it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. The first thing that I noticed after I actually got the figure in hand was that the head sculpt, while not painted especially well, looks a lot like Jesse Eisenberg, so I have to give them credit for that. It's a pretty nice head sculpt. The overall aesthetic of the figure, it's not terrible, so if you really wanted this, you probably would be okay with it. It's worth noting that none of the colors that are all molded match. You have different color for the shirt, the sleeves, the upper legs, the lower legs, it's all different. The arms have different colors between the biceps and the forearms. It's very, very poorly constructed. Not ideal in any way, really, but they did do the paintwork for the inner sleeves and the inner shirt by the collar, and we also have the little inmate number on the chest, and they added the typing on the back, so that's okay. They painted the shoes with the soles, so there's a little bit of stuff going on that actually doesn't look too bad. All these chains, which look pretty cheap but not terrible, they are removable, so you can just snap them off of the wrists and the ankles, and then they unpeg from the back of the figure also, so if you want to not have them all chained up, you can do that, which it's kind of silly that they chain him up anyway, because it's just Lex Luthor. He's not exactly a physical threat. So you can take him off, so that's up to you. It's not terrible. The sculpt on the figure isn't the worst. It's okay, but the articulation's not great. So in terms of the head, it's on a ball peg, but it doesn't really want to do anything but rotate. It feels like it'll lean forward and back, but then it doesn't really. Well, I guess it's going to hold it if you push it hard enough. It'll lean forward and back a little bit, so that's okay. It's not terrible. For the shoulders, you can raise the arms all the way out, no problem. Rotate them around. It's not too bad. You have your bicep swivel, your single jointed elbow, which looks like a toy from the 90s. That elbow joint is just not good. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's really not ideal. And then you have just a wrist swivel, so it's pretty basic. And on this side, you have a gripping hand and a wrist swivel. The ab crunch on this guy, it leans a little bit back, just a little bit forward, and that's it. You do get a waist twist, which is, I guess, okay. DCUC style hips, which are pretty ugly, but they work, so, it is what it is. They go forward a little bit, not too bad. We have your thigh swivel, which is really ugly, but it's there. Your single jointed knee, which does give you almost 90 degrees, which is not great, in terms of aesthetics, but it is functional. And then you have your ankle hinge, which goes back a little bit, forward a little bit, and that's about it. So it's a really basic figure. It's not great by any means. It's not terrible, I guess. If you really wanted to get it, you could. And I heard they're getting discounted very much at like Kmart. I don't know if that's true, but I heard you can get them for like $5 in some cases. So if you can get them for that, probably pick it up if you're at all interested. If you're going to pay $20, definitely consider not getting it if that's the case. So it's not great, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, so it gets a little bit of credit. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day, so come back for that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.